During the millennium drought, some of Victoria's reservoirs were very close to inoperable levels.
Melbourne is on the brink of a major water crisis as our reserves sink to all-time lows.
It was a massive wake-up call that changed the way we think about water.
After the driest September on record, Victorians are being warned to expect a record low rainfall for October as well. The sobering prediction will only add to the heartbreak of Victorian farmers already devastated by a drought without end.
So, what will be the biggest impact on Victoria's climate in the future?
The climate's changing and it will continue to change. We'll see a hotter, drier future with more extreme weather events.
What sort of extreme weather events?
We'll still have droughts and flooding rains, and they may even increase in their intensity, but overriding that there'll be a long-term decline in rainfall.
How much less rain are we likely to get in future?
In the longer term, if we carry on as we are, we're going to see a reduction of around 20% in rainfall in spring in the west of the state, and that can translate to more than 50% reduction in stream flow.
The thing about rain is that it brings complacency and we forget quickly. So it's worth noting that the period from 1989 to 1996 was generally above normal rainfall. Then the big drought began the following year and there was a very steep drop in storage during 1997 due to high consumption, no restrictions and very little awareness of water conservation. We mustn't forget what it was like during the drought because it'll happen again, sooner rather than later. During the drought, I made a special called Our Water, Our Future.
Let's put it in perspective using the MCG as a measure. Here's a glass of water. It goes nowhere.
We use the MCG to show how much water is needed to fill our biggest reservoir, the Thompson, which hasn't been full since 1996. Victoria's population is now growing by well over 100,000 people a year. That's more than the population of Bendigo and will be almost double by 2051. It will mean we'll have to add roughly the capacity of another Maroondah reservoir to our supply at least every 4 years. That's the equivalent of 5,657 megalitres a year we have to find. And that's if we use only 155 litres of water a day, which is Melbourne's voluntary target. But doing this isn't the solution. To show why we have to keep changing the way we think about water in our lives, I'm going to take a road trip around the state to see what's been done since the millennium drought and how far we have to go. For example, we can have reservoirs that are full to overflowing in the east of the state, while in the west of the state, say the Wimmera Mallee, they can be close to empty. So from one part of the state to the other, it can go from very wet to very dry, and people can be none the wiser. That's why we have to get smart about water. It's a crucial component of livability. So we'll cover a range of water-related elements in the state. How the environment must get its share of water because healthy rivers, wetlands and floodplains underpin everything else. Why we've put in extra supply capacity by building a desalination plant, currently capable of adding a third of Melbourne's water needs each year. How we're getting Waterwise with homes and industry becoming more efficient, with purple the colour of recycling, as we realise saving water is effectively finding water. How farmers are doing more with less. How water for recreation brings new life to country towns. And even how the iconic MCG has become very water efficient.